Hello friends, what's up? So this is a new tutorial series which I have named as Kotlin QuickTalks. In this series we'll be making a small quick videos where we'll be learning about some of the functions those are already available in the Kotlin language, and we see that how are they useful to us, and we'll see that how they are more easy to use, and you can say more performance efficient than creating our own logics behind that. So let's get started. So in this video we are going to learn about two functions available. Those are map and flatmap functions. So we'll see that what are these functions and how we can use them. So first of all, I have created an empty project, but in this we are just dealing with logic, so we don't need any UI or anything. So we'll be seeing all the output in the logcat only. So this is the useful part for this video. So let's get started. So first of all, we will create a new so we are dealing with custom lists in this tutorial, so we'll be creating a custom data model for our list. So let's name it as not user, let's name it as employee data model, and this will be a data class where I'm taking some parameters like let's say employee ID, which is of type integer, and then the second thing is employee name, which is of type string. The third parameter is employee age, which is of type int again, and then the last one is let's say it employee status, and we'll keep it as string for just easy understanding. So now we have a data class ready. So now let's create a some dummy data. So I'm creating a function for that. So let's create a private function, create employee list. So what this function will do is it will create a dummy employee list. So let's assume it that we are creating a mock repository. So let's define a new list. So let's name it as employee list, and this will be a array list of type employee data model. And now we'll be creating a loop so that we can insert some dummy data. So let's start the loop from 1 to 100, or let's say it as 50. Okay, I in 1 to 50, and then we'll be adding some values to this list. So like this list dot add, and here we'll be creating our model class. We'll be passing data. What was the name? Employee employee data model. Okay, so now we'll be using the named parameters. So employee ID will be I value only, so it will be like starting from 1 to 50, and then it will be employee name. So let's name it as employee, and then we'll be using the this ith index only. So it will be like it will be like employee 1 2 3 4 5 and all that up to 50. And now the third parameter is employee age. So we'll be taking the base age as let's say 20. Okay, so 20 plus I value. So for the first user it will be 21, then 22, and it will go up to 70 because it will be incrementing, it will be adding I value to 20. So for the last value, that is 50, it will be 50 plus 20, that is 70. Okay, so we are having employees starting from the age 20 up to age 70. Okay, so these are all the parameters required. There's one more thing, that is employee status, and this will be for all employees, let it be employed. Okay, yeah, like this. So all the employees currently are employed. Okay, so now we'll be simply returning this list like this. So now we have a employee list. Yeah. So now what we want to do is we want to actually learn that how our map function does work. So let's see. So first of all, in our main function, in our own create function, we'll use this list. So let's name it as employee list. Okay, so now first of all we'll just print this employee list as it is. So we'll be using logs for this purpose. So let's log the list, but we'll not be logging the whole list, but rather we'll be using a loop to log every item. So to loop in for a in our Kotlin language, what we can do is we can simply use the name, and then we'll have a function that is for each. So it will give us a employee data model for each item. So like this, we can also name it as per our requirement, like this, employee data model. So little typos like this. Okay, so now we can simply log it. I am using log e as of now because it will print every log in a red color, so it is easy to distinguish. Okay, so now the first parameter will be our tag, and then sorry, it will be this tag, and now the second parameter will itself be this name of this variable. So now like this, so what it will do is it will log every row of this list. Okay, so we'll simply run our application, and we don't need to actually see any output in the emulator because we are not dealing with UI, but rather we are dealing with the log cat only. So let's change it to error, and we'll wait for our project to run so that we can see the output in our locate. So we haven't done anything like any map function or anything till now. We have just created a list and printed every element inside that list. Okay, so here you can see the output. It is starting from employee id 1 with the user age of 21, because the even the at the first index also we are incrementing the age by 1. So it is starting from 21 and it will go up to 70. Okay, like this. So this is all. We have created an empty list, and you can see that all the employees have a status employed because we have given this status only. So now what we want is we want that employees with the age of greater than 50 years should have a status as retired. Okay, so how can we achieve that? Either we can use a loop, and we can check the age for every employee, and the age of like the employees having age greater than 50, we can simply change the status and put it inside another empty list, and then finally we have a complete list for all of the employees whose age are greater than 50 and have a employee status of retired now. So but that can be achieved with a map function. Okay, so how map works? So first of all, to do that, what we can do is we can simply use this list, and then we have a map function. Okay, so you can see that similarly like for each, it is also giving us a employee data model. So let's use this name here also. Okay, so now what we can do is we can simply, as the name suggests, map means mapping two things. Okay, so now what we can do is we can simply modify anything inside this, you can say this parameter, and that will be reflected to our list only. Okay, we don't need a new list or a separate list or a loop and do all the checks in there. So what we can do is we can simply use a if condition here. So let's say if employee data model dot employee age is greater than equal to 50, then employee data model dot employee status will be retired. It will give us an error because we are having the type as immutable, so we'll make it mutable using the var keyword. and now the error will be gone. Okay, so we can change the value at runtime. So now what will happen is it will compare every item in our list, and it will check this condition. If this condition is true, then it will change that particular item, um, whatever we want, like any change we want in that item. But in our case, we have just changed the employee status from employed to retired. Okay, so now we don't need an extra list. We can simply print the output of this list. So we can cut this function from here, and we can simply print it over here. So now this function will execute, and then this function will automatically update this list only. Okay, we don't need a separate list. So now we are printing the list. So let's see the output. We run the application, we'll delete the previous output, and now all the employees having a grade equal to or greater than 50 should have a retired status like this. So the employees who are having a age less than 50, that is 21 or anything up to 49, it is having a employee status of employed. But the employees equal having a age equal to or greater than 50 will have a status as retired. So you can see that how we actually manipulated the data using some conditions. So this is called as transform, you can say a transformation function, like sorry, not this, actually this one, that we have some preconditions that it will check, and based on that condition we can modify the data inside our list, and the list will be updated with the new data itself. And this is how this map function is actually used. So in next video we'll see that how flat map function works and how it differs from a map function. Okay, and why we need that function also. So that's it for this video. See you in next video. Bye bye, take care.